At $75,000 invested, something quietly shifts. Your portfolio starts earning more every month than you're manually putting in. Nobody warns you this moment is coming, but when it hits, everything changes. There are exactly 3 moments like this in wealth building. Most people never hit any of them, not because they couldn't, because nobody told them what to look for. This video is about all 3. Most people think building wealth is simple. You work, you save, maybe you invest a little, and somewhere down the road, you retire comfortable. But that's not how it actually works. Wealth builds like a hockey stick, flat for a long time, almost painfully flat. You're doing everything right, and the numbers barely move. This is where most people quit. But the people who stay, they hit these moments, and when they do, everything changes. So today, I'm going to show you all 3. Point 1, when your portfolio earns more than you put in. Point 2, when you cross $100,000 and growth accelerates. Point 3, when your investment income covers your basic expenses. 3 moments, 3 exact numbers. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you stand. Let's start with point 1. You've been investing $500 a month for a few years. Your portfolio sits at around $75,000. At a 10% annual return, the historical average of the S&P 500, that $75,000 earns $7,500 in 1 year. That's $625 every month, not from your job, not from extra work, just from money already sitting there. And you're only putting in $500 manually. The math has flipped. Your portfolio is now working harder than you are. This is the moment everything shifts psychologically. You stop feeling like you're just saving. You start feeling like you're building something real, and it never stops. The bigger your portfolio gets, the more it earns. The more it earns, the faster it grows. You didn't change anything. You just stayed consistent long enough for the math to take over. For most people investing $300 to $500 a month, this moment hits somewhere between $60,000 and $80,000. It takes time, but when you get there, the game is different. Now let's talk about point 2. The number is $100,000. At $100,000 invested at 10% return, your portfolio grows by $10,000 in 1 year without you adding a single dollar. That's $833 every month from compound growth alone. Now compare that to when you had $10,000 saved. Same 10% return, but you were earning $83 a month. Same percentage, completely different impact. This is why the first $100,000 is the hardest, not because saving is harder at the start, but because the returns feel invisible. You're doing everything right, and it feels like nothing is happening. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's partner for over 50 years, once said the first $100,000 is brutally hard. He was right, but once you cross it, the next $100,000 comes faster, then faster again. At $200,000, you earn $20,000 a year passively. At $500,000, $50,000 a year. The percentage never changes, but the impact grows every single time. If you're at $40,000 or $60,000 right now, you are closer than it feels. Don't stop. Now, point 3. This is the one that changes your entire life, not just your bank account, your life. It's when your investment income covers your basic monthly expenses: rent, food, bills, transportation. Say your essential expenses are $3,000 a month. That's $36,000 a year. Using the 4% rule, you need a portfolio of $900,000 to generate that without ever touching the principal. I know that sounds far away, but here's what changes when you hit it. You no longer need your job to survive. You might still work, but you work because you want to, not because you have to. The fear of losing your job? Gone. The feeling of being trapped? Gone. You now have options, real options. This is what financial freedom actually looks like. Not yachts, not private jets, just the quiet ability to choose. And it doesn't require a huge income. It requires consistency. Someone earning $60,000 a year, investing 20%, can realistically reach this in their 50s. It all starts with point 1. Here's the hard truth. Most people never hit any of these moments, not because they couldn't, because they stopped too early. They saw slow results and quit, or panicked when the market dropped and sold everything, or kept saying they'd start next year. Next year never came. The tipping points don't care about your timing. They only show up for people who stay. So open your investment account right now. Look at your balance. At $10,000, you're building the foundation. At $40,000, you're approaching point 1. At $80,000, you're probably past it. At $100,000, you've hit point 2. Whatever your number is, the next step is the same. Stay consistent. Keep investing every month. Don't panic when it drops. Just stay, because the tipping points are coming. The only question is whether you'll be there when they arrive. Wealth building is boring. It's supposed to be boring. Quiet, slow, flat for a long time. But one day you'll check your account and the number will be bigger than anything you put in. Your portfolio earned more this month than you made at your first job. And you didn't do anything. You just stayed. That moment is coming. It's worth every boring month it takes to get there. Subscribe if you want more videos like this. See you next time.